the Daily Ramble podcast. Good morning, you lovely West Ham fans. I hope you're okay. Monday morning. Bit of a struggle, isn't it? Bit of a struggle. Horrible weather out there as well. But you know what? We've done it. We're up. We're up and at 'em. Don't know whether you caught the show we did last night. We was back on a Sunday night. That was quite nice. That was quite nice to do. Just a cheeky little hour. We will bring back the phone-ins when the Euros start. That's going to get interesting. Might do some dedicated shows. So obviously, I'm even considering doing some watch-alongs. I might do. We'll see what happens. But no, look, I hope you're all feeling okay today. Get up. I know it's shit out there, but just get up, smash Monday morning straight in the face. That's what you want to do. It's what you want to do. As always, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and drop a like on the video because it does help, especially in this ghost shift that I'm doing at the moment, which is a ghost shift for YouTube. It is. Not many people are up this time in the morning, apart from you nutty lot that are watching me. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll flick through the comments now. Who we got in here? So we got, of course, we've got James. Good morning, mate. We've got Matthew Clark. Got old Luigi. There we go. Danny Moore. Well done, mate. Got me boy Lee. Good morning. Some more Luigi. We got Ben. We've got Stuart. We've got another Stuart. Good morning, Stuart. You're all right. Andy Miles. Hello, mate. Mickey Smith. Bodger. David Riley. RB. Not Leipzig. And we've got the real Mick Masters. And Mark and Leslie. Are you all here? That's it. I could go on forever doing that. So I'll flick through the chat in a minute. So what we're going to talk about today. Look, obviously, with regards to the diet, I'm back on that. I had a day off, obviously, because I went out and completely ballsed up on... I didn't balls up. There was nothing I could do. So on Friday night, with the job that I do, if you're going out, especially with this client, if you're taking clients out, you've got to take clients out, and that's what we did. So it was a very nice meal, which then went into a drink, and I had to recover the following weekend. So I did get back on it, though, in terms of the diet. Didn't do any exercise at the weekend, though, I will be honest, but I did do this morning. I did. So I'm feeling all right. But I have posted the entire diet sheet as well. If anybody does need it, just put a note in the comments. I did post it on the community section, so it is there if you want it. All right, so it's 7 days, and if you want to do it for 2 weeks, which is what I'm doing, you just repeat it. You repeat it for a maximum of 2 weeks. All right, because I don't know what happens if you do it for more than 2 weeks. I've never done it, but you're not supposed to. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few things this morning, and that is obviously, look, I'll touch on Guilherme, because Guilherme we do know has flown over, and I believe has landed in London from what I've just read, actually. So it looks like he is in London, and he's about to have his medical with West Ham. I'm going to hold my hands up and say that I got it wrong in terms of not being able to get any deals done. That's what I said last week. That was a reading that I did, because I mean, it's right, you can't register a player. You can't physically go through the process with the FA, register a player as yours, which is why typically clubs won't take the risk in buying a player until they can register them in case there's any issues with the registration. But I'm assuming they've done all their sort of prerequisite checks and stuff like that. So I think we'll get the deal done for this player, because Guilherme is the type of player we'll get gazumped for if we was to make it, because officially we can't register him until July 1st. So if we were to wait a month, try and hang on to him for the best part of 20 days, there's a good chance that somebody else would swoop in there. So I do believe that with this player, I think if they can get the contract done, get it signed, more than just a deal in principle, actually get it done today, which they must be intending to do, because otherwise they wouldn't be flying him over now, then that is what they will do, 100%. So I'm expecting probably an announcement on that this week, which will be good, because then we can move on to other targets, which will not us, not the club, but us. We can focus on other targets that the club are bringing in. It will just be so nice to have that first player done, the deal done. That does kind of mark the start of something new for West Ham. We've never done this before. We've never known this before. No dithering, no messing around. And I don't think that there's people out there that have been criticising this, saying, "Oh, Tim just wants a Brazilian." This, that, the other. Don't be stupid. He's going to have been working on this list for the best part of a year since he's been here. You know, he knows the players that he wants. He's got an analyst team now that are kind of identifying players. We know the type of player that we need. It is probably a little bit of a Moneyball thing as well. You know, that type of, well, it is when you look at the system that we've got in place behind the scenes. If the Guilherme deal didn't come off, I'm pretty certain there'll be another one in line that they would be going after. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know, that isn't scattergun. That's having a system in place. But Guilherme is going to be our player. I'm almost certain of that now. Obviously, anything can happen, but I'm really, really excited. More so than, you know, many people are on social media. I don't know why there isn't more excitement around this deal. This guy really has got the potential to be a top level player, like a real great player. So that doesn't mean he's going to be that player initially when he first comes in, but some of the key attributes that he's got should mean that we could make use of him even while he's bedding in, because when you've got that much pace and that much power, we can use him as an impact player while he is kind of acclimatising to the league, and that's the important thing, right? You know, just making good use of him. So yeah, that's Guilherme. So it's going to be wonderful to see him holding that shirt. It's going to be fantastic. I wonder whether we'll get that picture kind of before July 1st. Like I said, I reckon we will. It'll be exciting. Lopetegui has spoken to the club as well. Not the club. He's spoken to the press. He's done a press interview with West Ham, and yeah, it was very good. I mean, some of the language that was used, he was kind of going along the lines of, you know, trotting out. You know, we're very grateful for the work that David Moyes has done. You know, he's achieved a lot. He's managed the third most games in the Premier League. Why they're trotting that shit out, I don't know. But we know that the press officers do prepare these people. But he was going on saying, but we're here now, and let's see if I can find the actual article. 1 minute. Right, here we go. Give you the actual quotes. Right. So he said, he thinks he says, I think that we're going to have time to work on the skills of the players, but I think that we do have a good base and a good platform to start working from. He said they're already playing with quality, and of course, I'm totally willing to try to improve this squad. We will be humble, but we can be humble and at the same time be ambitious. I think that this is the platform we have to try to put in. Now, that's quite interesting, because I wonder whether that's a message that he's kind of sending to players that may have thought they were out the door, because it does make me wonder whether certain elements of our transfer policy have changed because of Lucas Paqueta. You know, obviously we've got money to spend, but not as much as what we would have had if we were selling Lucas. So it makes me wonder whether or not he's either been told that he's going to have to work with some of the players that he probably wanted to move on, or whether he's just kind of keeping his cards close to his chest. Do you know what I mean? I'm not too sure. Because we do know that with Lopetegui as well, you know, he's done it with Wolves. If he doesn't get his own way, he will have identified what this squad is capable of and what key areas need to be improved. He's not going to want to come here just to keep West Ham afloat. That isn't the reason he would have taken this job. You know, he's a big head. He's got an ego. He's arrogant, which is what you want. He's going to want to come in and blow what David Moyes did out of the water. So he's not just going to want to be a gatekeeper. That much is clear. He says you can be humble in football, but you can also show that you've got big ambitions every day, because that's your responsibility. When you wake up, you've got to show every day you want to improve, and that is our demand. So there's plenty more, but I'm not going to read it out. So yeah, the article's out there on the official West Ham website if you do want to go and read it. But look, it says to me that I think he's keeping his cards close to his chest. I'm not going to sort of throw my toys out the pram or anything like that. I do think that players are going to be moved on, but also I think we're probably in a position now where we're not going to want to be held to ransom. For instance, the Naif Aguerd deal. They've come out and said that the player can move, he can leave, providing somebody pays what we bought him for. So we're not willing to take a hit on Aguerd, and I support that policy. because I do think that Aguero is a top player and he is the type of player that could move on and embarrass us. He could embarrass us, later in the season because he is a good player. He just wasn't suited to David Moyes' system. Whether or not his time at West Ham is done and it's dead and he just wants to move is kind of, in his mind, is kind of irrelevant. I think we will sell that player, providing we can get what we paid for him. Why should we be selling Aguero for 10, 15 million and taking a 15 million loss on him? Let's face it, I'm not having a go at the player, but he's given us fuck all since he's been here. He's been taking a decent wage and he's done nothing. So if he isn't worth the money that we paid for him at this stage and he wants his move, then he better get his football boots back on and go out there and start bumping his value up. That should be the mentality of the club, and I think that is the mentality of the club. The other interesting one is Flynn Downs. Flynn Downs, I believe they're looking at, but they're willing to listen to offers for. So that's what I've been told. But we won't let him go for anything less than a very, very good deal. So I think we'd be looking at possibly 20 to 25 million for Flynn Downs. And I don't think that's unrealistic. I really don't think that's unrealistic. It may scare Southampton off. It might do. But then again, that all that says to me is that the club are currently valuing Flynn Downs quite high. Because he is a very useful player to West Ham. We could have used him last season. So I don't think we're in any rush, any desperate need to sell Flynn Downs. I think out of a lot of the midfielders that we've got, I think he's one that kind of fits. Not necessarily as a first teamer. I don't personally see him as a first teamer yet. But I think Flynn Downs is one of those players that I don't think he hinders what Julian Lopetegui is going to try and put in place. We have got other players that, as we know, will hinder a change in style. People like Thomas Souček, unfortunately. I've been told that Danny Ings, we've tried to move Danny Ings on, and I think it's Southampton that had put a bid in for him. But from what I'm being told, now I don't know, I've not checked how long Danny Ings has got left on his contract. I think it might be 2 years. But from what I've been told, Danny Ings has said, no, you're all right, I'm staying. Because nobody's going to pay him the money that he's on at the moment. Now, we can all come out and have a go at him and go, oh, he's a greedy bastard, he should just leave. Well, why? He's in the twilight of his career, he's right at the end. The one thing that you do as a footballer right at the end of your career is you look for your biggest deal. He's sitting on his biggest deal. He ain't walking away from 120 grand a week. It's as simple as that. The only way we could shift him from West Ham would be if we came to some agreement with the player to give him a portion of his wages up front to help smooth a deal away. But I don't think that we're going to do that. That's the thing where we're going to fall down every time, because you've got Karen Brady and you've got Sullivan sort of sitting there, that they don't do things like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that materialises. But we have tried, apparently, to find a new home for Danny Ings, and thus far it's been unsuccessful. We might find something similar with other players as well. People like Kurt Zouma, who we would like to move on, but they're on too big a deal. Who's going to pay Kurt Zouma 80, 90 bags a week when he's a good defender? But let's face it, the knees are about to go. They're about to go. So I do think that we might find ourselves in a situation where we're stuck with these players who are taking a massive chunk of our wage bill that we want to be using to spend elsewhere. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, because I do think we have to move players on, not to make money to buy players, but to free up some sort of space on the wage bill if we do want to go out there and be as ambitious as I think Lopetegui wants to be. Also, in terms of forwards that we are apparently linked with at the moment, we are linked with Tammy Abrahams. We spoke about all the other ones last night, but we're linked with Tammy Abrahams again. So that's us and a few other clubs from the Premier League are interested in Tammy Abrahams. He did get his injury issues last year again, which seems to have kind of blighted his career the whole way through, which is a bit of a concern. It is a bit of a concern with that player. But look, I like him. I've checked with the people that I know about this stuff, and they're saying that they don't think there's anything in this link. That's what they're saying. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think Tammy Abrahams would probably fit the bill. I've got to be honest. I think he's a big, powerful. He's like a complete number 9. Physically, he is. He can be a target man. He can run in behind. He's an intelligent player. He's got a good finish on him. I think he's decent, but there is that injury concern as well. Could it work in tandem with Mikel Antonio? Yeah, it probably could, because you've got a decent backup player there. But I don't know. I'm kind of some of the names that I can hopefully reveal later this week. If it does materialise that there is anything in them, then that's the direction that we want to be going in for striker. And some of these names are exciting as well. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. The other one is Alex Garcia from Girona, the Girona midfielder. We're obviously we've kind of swooped in at the very last minute, and we've tried to gazump Leverkusen, which is really weird, right? Because when you look at it, Girona are in the Champions League because they had a fantastic La Liga season last year, and he was a massive part of that. And he was going to be moving from us to Bayer Leverkusen, who have just won the German league, who are also in the Champions League next season. And apparently, there is talk that the player is interested in coming to West Ham, who have no European football at all next year, but we're in the Premier League. Now, that can't just be money, because people are probably going, oh, he's coming for the money. No, you can probably go and get more. If he wanted money, he'd probably go to Saudi. I think that would come down to the fact that maybe it's Lopetegui. Maybe the player, he's Spanish, maybe he's buying into an exciting project. I don't know. But it's not done yet. I mean, the sticking point is, apparently, which we didn't know, is that there is an agreement in principle already there between Alex Garcia and Leverkusen. But as I did speak about last week, agreements in principle do mean absolutely fuck all. It means nothing. David Moyes apparently had an agreement in principle to get his contract. It means nothing. It can, you've got to kind of, you've got to take that leap of faith and sign that player straight away. Sign them up before the registration date. Otherwise, you're going to get gazumped, especially with quality players like that. The only concern with Alex Garcia for me, because I do believe that Garcia is a player that Lopetegui has identified. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I think the Steiten is supporting it, because Lopetegui needs a player like that in the engine room to deliver the style of football and the way that he wants to play. He needs that. We've got to sort the midfield out. Alvarez is fine, but we need that partner. We need that partner for him. That is neither James Ward-Prowse or Thomas Souček. That's been proven. We tried that. We tried different combinations last season. James Ward-Prowse and Souček can't fucking do it. They can't do it at all. So Alex Garcia would be fantastic, but there are others. We've spoken about Fofana, but there's plenty of other players throughout Europe and South America as well that could do a similar job. But if they can go out and get a player like him, we're all set, because I do think that would really. There's levels to players. This guy would kind of really help Lopetegui implement his new tactics sooner rather than later. Because otherwise it's going to have to be a softly approach. I think if you can tell by the way that he's talking at the moment is, if he hasn't got the players, because he's not a stupid coach. So if he hasn't got the players to deliver a different tactic, then we're probably going to, the risk is we're going to end up seeing the same shitty style that we saw last season if we don't get all the players in quickly. He will definitely need, he won't just change the style of play for the sake of it. He won't do that. He'll need the players in place so that we can facilitate that. So hopefully we can go out and get Alexi Garcia. We can go out and get a Yusuf Fofana. So that just to sit next to Alvarez in that engine room, and that will transform the way that we play by having people like that in the middle. Yes, we need pace up front, which we're addressing. We need a new striker. We need a wide player. We need a replacement for Paqueta. We're addressing that, but defence needs sorting. But the midfield, people are forgetting the midfield. Part of the reason why our defence was so shit last season and so exposed is because they had no midfield in front of them. None. That is having a go at Alvarez, but I'm not having a go at Alvarez, because Alvarez can't do it on his own. He's not Declan Rice, right? He's a great CDM, but he can't do that job that Declan Rice was doing, even though with Declan Rice the season before we almost got relegated, right? But last season was a travesty. You can't have Alvarez and, I'm sorry, Souček and James Ward-Prowse in midfield is a big no-no for me. That has to be addressed, and I reckon he will address it. He will, 100%. Right, so look, let's go through some of the comments anyway. So Paul Nicklin says, I'll work my way backwards. He says, we don't want to buy any injury-prone players. we should have learnt our lessons from the past poor decisions for good players. I'm assuming you're talking about Tammy Abrahams. It is a concern. We don't, it really is. And he does strike me that he is injury prone, And there's so much talent there. There really is. But, we'll see. Right, there isn't really much by way of any other questions in there, I don't think. I'm just scrolling through at the moment. All right, where are we? No, I don't think there's much else. Would you do, Lee? You messed up on your diet last night. Oh, no. Yeah, you're at Download. You're at the bloody festival thing. You got there early, didn't you? But yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go to the masturbator very, very quickly. Let's see what I haven't even watched this one from Sam, so it's be a surprise for us all. See what he's going to talk about.
How you doing, everyone? It's me, the masturbator with the massive snosser. Got a question for you all. While I was on holiday, I got questioned about something, the way I do toast, and no one else I went on holiday with does it like this. So when you're having toast and you're having your spread on it, whatever you like, peanut butter, jam, marmalade, whatever, yeah? But to say you're having peanut butter on toast, for example, do you put butter on it as well? Because me, I'm having peanut butter, my toast, a little bit of butter, and then with peanut butter over the top. But I do the same with jam and all that as well. But everyone else kept saying that I was the weirdo. So everyone else just said, no, you just put the spread on, and then that's it. That don't seem right to me. So what do you do? Do you put butter on with the spread, or just the spread? Let me know.
That's an interesting one. I'll be honest with you. I'm with Sam. I find toast is very dry. So if you're just having jam or something like that, unless you really slap the topping on, like you'd have to apply a load of fucking jam on. I would. Your peanut butter's a little bit different, I suppose, because it is kind of butter. Yeah, so I'll give you that one. But most other things that I put on toast, maybe Marmite aside, I do apply a very thin layer of butter because toast is dry. It's dry, and I like butter as well. I love butter. But all right, a couple of questions we've got here. So Steve, West Ham United Bell, he says, can Paqueta still play for us even with this investigation ongoing? Yeah, he can. He's innocent until proven guilty. It's as simple as that. So they would have to, yeah. So it's going to be apparently the end of August, Gary was telling me yesterday. You're going to find out more about that because Gary is recording part 2 of the show with John Camille, the KC, to talk about the next stage because they're going to break it down logically. So you're going to find out a lot more about that this week. I reckon they'll get all the shows done this week. So that's going to be interesting. So I believe they're recording later on this afternoon and they're going to be releasing it around about 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, I believe he can, Steve, is the answer to that question. Freaky Deaky says, we should see if Southampton would do 30 million for Downs and Ings. Look, I would take it. I know it's going to upset some people because people like Downs. I like Downs. I do. I don't think he's a bad player. I haven't got an issue with Downs like I have with James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček. No. But the only thing that I would say is for Downs because I feel like we've dicked him around enough. We messed up his move to Palace. We then didn't fucking use him. He's a good player. He deserves to be playing. If the manager, if Lopetegui is going to use him, if he has a look at this player in training and goes, that's a player I can use, it can be a first-team player, then yeah, we keep him. But if he doesn't see him as that and he sees him as a squad backup player, then I think we owe it to the player to let him move on. Personally, that's what I think anyway. There you go. So there you go. Louis says, butter on first. I agree with you. But you're going to agree with your boyfriend now, aren't you, Lou? Do you know what I mean? Although you don't always. You normally have little fights. Amanda says, no gross. Yeah, no, I know. It's never too early for a masturbate, mate. Never too early. Yeah, Paul Nicklin says, yeah, look, butter first. See, I'm the same. I'm not weird. All right, what about this one? So you saying butter and Nutella would work? Yeah. There are some spreads where it wouldn't work. There are. Depends on Depends on your... Yeah, look, everyone's saying it, though. Everyone's saying it. Right, so you have butter with jam, but not with peanut butter. Yeah, see? It's getting tongues wagging. It's getting tongues wagging. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier on, tune in for that. I've also got a couple of other shows that are going to be coming up this week as well. Obviously, part of our network with our members, we do Boostcasts as well, where we talk to people within the group. So there's going to be a couple of talking points coming up this week where I'm going to be we're recording one tonight. So that'd be quite good. Couple of really good characters. So I'll maybe pushing that out tomorrow as well. So that'd be another show in addition to the morning show as well, because we're going to start sort of building up and ramping up now. I'm personally kind of avoiding doing full-on transfer rumour shows. I will report on Guilherme and a couple of other players that I think are really good links, but when you look at the vast array of players that we're linked with at the minute, you can't go reporting on all of them. You know, it's so difficult to find out what is crap and what's not. So yeah, there's plenty of channels out there that are doing that. They're giving you a running commentary on every single player we're linked with. You don't need another one. You don't, you know. So no, I won't be doing that. But yeah, okay. Look, so that is it for this morning. We're going to make it short and sweet. I'm going to leave you with Jay. And I will talk to you tomorrow morning. All right. Thanks for joining me back. And I am sorry I let you all down last week on Friday as well. I let myself down. So I'm going to try my best now to go through the rest of the month, and I ain't going to let you down. I'm not. I'm going to be a good boy. All right. I've got no more drinks planned now. All right. See you later. Come on, you wines. Have a good day. Go and smash Monday straight in the face. Come on, you wines.
Gary's thumbs. What's happening, people? It's day 5 of Nick's journey into morningness. Well done, Nick. Doing amazing, mate. Keep up with the diet, with the exercise, with the dog walks, with Henry. Go on, son. Just don't let Henry eat another dog, for fuck's sake. Anyway, quick inspirational message for today, and it's about happiness. First and foremost, do you know within yourself that you do deserve to feel happy in yourself just for being yourself? First part of the question. Second part of that question is, on a daily basis, what one thing are you doing to make you feel happy about being yourself? Not for the kids, not for the other half, not for work, not for friends, just for you to feel happy about being you. Because you know what, and I mean this, you genuinely deserve to feel happy about being yourself. Have a great day, people. Turn it off, Jay.